Alright, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Bratcat channel. This is Hobfoot, that's Aloy, and Varl, and that's, well, hey, come, okay, well, she's camera shy, but that's Zoe. Zoe! Here's Zoe. No, too camera shy. Yeah, we're playing Horizon Forbidden West, and, yeah, I'm very, very tired. I was going to go to bed, like, 2 videos ago. But we were in places where there's no save points, so we're here. We got to talk to Gaia. We got Gaia restored. Not all the way, but the core Gaia kernel. And she's got Minerva under her wing. We destroyed Hades. Gaia might be able to make Hades back again. I don't know if Gaia's capable of that. Depending on what kind of version of Gaia this is,
okay,
might not.
maybe it's time to talk to Gaia.
I'll leave you to it.
She might not need to have Hades attached to her. I mean, Gaia was pretty sentient, and the whole point was that she'll be sentient enough that what's the word I'm trying to say? She'll be sentient enough that she would know what to do. She would know right from wrong. It's kind of what Sobek, like, trained her for. So you might not need Hades. You might know when to, like, redo stuff. I don't know. Might be putting a little too much trust in there. But anyway, yep, I decided we're going to make another episode tonight, because I don't know how long it's going to take to talk to her. I imagine we've got lots to talk about. And then how long it's going to take to get to a save point and all that stuff. So we're just going for another episode. Gaia. Hi, Gaia. Okay, where's the hole I came in through? Did it close? I'm never gonna be able to get back through there. Doesn't register as Gaia on there. She's meditating.
Hello, Aloy.
Hi. So you're ready?
Yes. Initialization is complete. All tests show that my heuristic matrix launched correctly and is stable. You must have many questions.
Yeah. But 2 big ones first. We're not going to be able to fix the biosphere without making you whole. I ran a search for your subfunctions at the Hades Proving Lab, but Minerva was the only one I found.
Thankfully, the sensory capabilities of this facility are far more advanced. I will search for the others now. Transmitting query pattern. Receiving.
That'd be cool if we could go global. Wow, look at all those facilities. Is that what that is? Or is that networks?
Of Apollo, Artemis, and Eleuthia, I can find no trace. They are simply gone.
What about the others?
Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon are revealed. They lie within reach, procurable.
That was like Texas, upper Mexico area.
And Hephaestus?
I didn't think we were that far central.
It too stands revealed, but it is not like the others.
That's for sure.
In the years since the extinction signal, Hephaestus has evolved. Moreover, it is not confined to a single location. It haunts the global network that connects cauldrons to each other across the planet, making it exceptionally difficult to subdue.
Let me guess. We need it bad?
Correct. Its capabilities are essential. Without it, I can only delay the extinction of life on Earth. Hephaestus is our only hope of a permanent solution.
So we start there?
Unfortunately, we cannot. Procuring Hephaestus can only be attempted after my own capabilities have been significantly enhanced.
Grab the other subordinate functions first, then Hephaestus.
Precisely so.
So, Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon. How do I capture them?
To recover a subordinate function, you will have to travel to its location and find the physical processor to which it escaped. Then, exactly as you did with Minerva, you must use the master override to revert the subordinate function to its original code state.
And then how do I get it back here?
The subordinate function must be loaded onto a data storage device and physically carried back to this facility.
The cartridge your root kernel was stored on?
Yes. Its capacity is limited, so it can only carry one subordinate function at a time. But in all other respects, it will suffice.
I wonder why the cartridge is shaped like that to store data. Is there like a vacuum in which particles are suspended in there that can be written quantum style? Maybe it's solid glass. Maybe they're taking the thing. I forget who did it, but there's a. I want to say Microsoft for some reason, but I don't think that's right. They did an advanced storage thing where they etched into glass the data, and you had like a 3D data storage thing. You could like laser in at different levels and stuff like that. And it was like this little piece of glass, and it was like, oh yeah, we can store like, I don't know, it was like 500 terabytes or something as like a protocol, like a prototype. Maybe it was 50. I don't know. It was like a lot of data for a little piece of glass and a prototype. And I forget whether writing was, you could like read really fast and write slow, or write fast and read slow, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like extremely quick to do one of them, but then extremely slower to do the other. So maybe there's some type of thing on that. Also, I wonder where those other 3 functions are. Gaia will have 4 functions, then she'll have to try to overcome Festus, and she'll have 5, but that still won't be everything. Everything was needed. Obviously, Apollo's not going to be there. But we could still get a copy of that if these are the space people that Elizabeth sent a copy of Apollo with. So that could be possible. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you can help me make sense of something. A while ago, I had a run-in with a group of strangers who tried to kill me. They had machine servitors and a clone of Elizabeth Sobek with them.
Yes, this was recorded by your focus.
Do you know who they are?
The answer to that question is related to the extinction signal that woke Hades, prompting my predecessor's self-destruction.
The extinction signal? Okay, that sounds ominous.
The signal did not come from Earth, Aloy.
As I suspected.
The calculations are complicated, but it appears to have originated 81 trillion kilometers away.
She doesn't even know what that number means.
A distance so vast that light itself requires 8.611 years to cross it.
Was that Mars there for a second? I don't know what part of
Okay, so
the system we're looking at.
what's so far away and why does it want us dead?
The Sirius star system.
I wonder if Gaia's looking in real time. That would be cool.
Serious. But that's where Far Zenith, their ship.
The Odyssey.
Yes, that's where it was headed. But it blew up. Unless... I don't... Why make it seem like they failed? They didn't want anyone to know. They didn't want future humans to think that they were out there. Wait. This strangers who tried to kill me at the Hades Proving Lab? The ones with the clone? Are you saying that they're from... that they're descendants of... Far Zenith?
Yes, that is my conclusion.
The Zeniths. I like it. The Zeniths. They're from Sirius. Could have called them Syrians.
The 3 subordinate functions that you detected. What do we know about them?
All 3 are relevant to problems currently plaguing the biosphere. Ether is responsible for detoxifying the atmosphere and moderating the weather.
Ah.
Poseidon controls the organic and chemical composition of water resources.
Didn't seem like there's anything wrong with it.
Sows, fertilizes, and tends to plant life. If all 3 were restored to me, they would constitute a massive increase to my heuristic processing density. But beware. Their responses to my query pattern were irregular. In human terms, they are frightened, lost, and paranoid.
Like Minerva. They need to be whole again.
Exactly.
But Hades wasn't like that. Hades was all about, like... Well, I guess because he got the actual kill function. See, that's weird. So... The Zeniths send the signal. Hades somehow picks it up. Or no, Hades didn't pick it up. Gaia picked it up. And then it hacked her. So she got the signal, and it hacked her. So she blew herself up. And as it hacked her, and she blew herself up, she wasn't there. The core kernel, which they tried to hack to get control of the subordinate functions so that they could replace Gaia with their own programming. She blew up the facility that she was housed in, and also erased her part of the code that they tried to hack. But some of the code probably got into the subordinate functions, combined with no longer having the root structure of Gaia to control them, so they're just doing their own thing. And so everybody else freaks out, goes crazy, paranoid, scared, whatever. And Festus starts saying, "Oh, you're killing all my stuff. I will kill you instead. Eliminate the threat." Hades decides to... Well, I guess it decides to do what it's supposed to do. It was given... See, now here's the thing. Was Hades given the code to boot up and wipe everything and start again? Or just kill everything off? Or was Hades freaking out and glitched out, basically, so that even though that's not necessarily what the Zeniths wanted, maybe he... I'm saying he, but this AI, maybe this program, was freaking out in its own way and decided, oh yes, clearly I'm supposed to kill everything, and it was a glitch. Or did the Zeniths want him to freak out and kill everything? Did the Zeniths want him to freak out? To start over again? Were they expecting this? This signal lasted for a while. It was 20 years ago or whatever. Were they expecting, okay, let's wipe everything, boot it again, and then by the time we get there, we'll have a fresh new paradise waiting for us? Or did they want everything killed off? They've got a rock, and they can build everything from the ground up in the own way that they want. Wonder if they even knew when they sent that signal whether that there were people on there. Could they have known? Would they have known? Did they know that there, A, could be people there, that there would be, or that there were? You know? And did they have any knowledge or assumptions about the state of knowledge and progression of the people there? You know? This is fascinating.
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis rewilded the Earth with a variety of animal species. Eleuthia was responsible for gestating, nurturing, and acculturating a new generation of human beings. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating vast archives of human knowledge and cultural achievements. Unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the 2nd of February, 2066, by order of Ted Farrow.
Shouldn't have Gaia have figured...
I really hate that guy.
Understandable. He appears to have been pathologically narcissistic, impulsive, and unstable.
Clearly.
All 3 of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
If attainable, yes. Restoring their remaining elements would increase my heuristic processing density. Unfortunately, I have no way to track them. They have disappeared without a trace.
Okay, so we know what happened to Apollo. It go boom and go away. Well, I don't know that it went boom, but it was wiped. Here's the thing, though. Shouldn't Gaia have known? Gaia's controlling all this. It's sentient. It knows that its creator is Sobek. And Gaia would have known that Elizabeth had disdain, dislike, extreme distrust for Ted, and that Ted could not be counted on or trusted, and should not be let anywhere near anything technical with the Zero Dawn or Gaia projects. So when Ted hacks, what is Gaia doing? Does Gaia realize? How does he hack around Gaia? Why did Gaia let him do it? Could she have stopped him? I don't know. Also, yeah, probably the cradle functions are all done, so that makes sense that it went offline. But the wildlife thing does not make sense to me. Got insects. Well, we only see a few, but I'm assuming there's a whole lot many more insects. Even though we only see butterflies and dragonflies and stuff. I'm assuming there's a whole many more. You've got small mammals. Rabbits, raccoons, foxes, mice. You know, that stuff. You got medium small mammals like the boars. You got some birds. This is the other thing, where there's a whole lot more. You hear birds tweeting and twaddling all the time, but you can only kill so many of them. So I don't know if that means there's a whole many more that are out there that you don't know about, or that's all that there are, the ones you can kill, and maybe a couple other more. But even if all that went perfect, there's still not any large mammals. In this part, if everything got put back the way it was originally and supposedly is supposed to been, you would have mountain cats in all these areas that we've been. Mountain cats were pretty up there. Also, there's supposedly going to be lizards in this, but I haven't seen any of those yet, and that's going to be the only reptile that we've seen. Haven't seen any amphibians. But there's no horses, no deer. I doubt there's giraffes or elephants, if nothing smaller, if even things as small as deer aren't there. The biggest thing you've got is a goat. I don't know how big a peccary is. seems like it's probably messed up and didn't finish its job.
You said you need Hephaestus to save life from extinction. Why?
Every subordinate function has value, but Hephaestus is by far the most important. Only by recovering and merging it can I regain my ability to design and mass-produce new machines at cauldrons across the planet. Only through it can I program new machines and alter the tasking of existing machines to completely reverse environmental damage. Recovering other subordinate functions may buy us time, but without Hephaestus, I cannot permanently stave off mass extinction.
I wonder if in Horizon 3 we'll be like traveling all over the planet in our spaceship we steal from Zenith, or maybe they give us one because we become buddies at the end of this, although I doubt it. You just go to different cauldrons in different places and try and track down Hephaestus or kill all local roots, or, you know, something. That'd be kind of cool to see all the different tribes and see all the different everythings. That'd be a massive game. Massive.
Given Hephaestus's importance, is there really no way to capture and merge it first?
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. In my present state, launched and merged with Minerva, I am operating at less than 1/5, 18.8%, of my intended processing capacity. Hephaestus dwarfs this figure. Were an attempt made to conduct the merge under these circumstances, Hephaestus would absorb me, rather than the other way around. A merge cannot be attempted until my heuristic processing density exceeds its own.
And how many subordinate functions is that going to take?
Merging Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon will expand my heuristic network to 41.6% capacity, exceeding that of Hephaestus.
You said Hephaestus isn't located in just one place.
Correct. Unlike the other subordinate functions, which are confined to discrete physical processors, Hephaestus is distributed throughout the global network that connects the planet's cauldrons.
I love that map.
So, when the time comes to subdue it, how do we make that happen?
I do not know. While you are retrieving the procurable subordinate functions, I will attempt to find a solution.
I gotta say, one thing, other than all the lore and the knowledge you gain from this, nice thing about all this talking and stuff is I can just sit and drink tea. I can just... I'm watching too much Tom Scott, because I was just like, as I said that, I was like picturing and sounding and making the flow of that sentence just exactly like he would say it. It felt like, I mean, it wasn't like he said it, but I could imagine it so realistically. It was hard to like not slip into it. Ugh, too much internet.
So, once Hephaestus has been recovered and merged, you'll regain the capacity to mass-produce machines at cauldrons around the world.
Yes, and to program their behavioral routines, or even control them directly.
So could you build an army of machines? Attack the descendants of Far Zenith and take them out?
That's not what I'm programmed for.
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve life on Earth, human life above all. So yes, once I have been empowered with the capacities of Hephaestus, I could design, build, and command such an army. Given the nature of the Far Zenith threat, doing so may be our only option. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology to kill, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That's good. It means you have a conscience. As Elizabeth intended.
Indeed.
Wonder if this is the same Gaia that would have spent much time with, you know, Elizabeth. Also, dangerous road to walk down, Aloy. That, she might, decide to go rogue and wipe out everything.
What is the state of the biosphere? Is the terraforming system functioning at all?
In a sense, the terraforming system never stopped functioning. The difference, since my predecessor's destruction, is that there has been no central governing intelligence to monitor its robotic agents and assign new tasks. As a result, errors have accrued, and day by day, the biosphere has gradually veered ever more sharply towards destruction. In recent months, disturbances in the biosphere have become obvious. But these bellwether phenomena offer just the merest glimpse of the complex and accelerating cycles of environmental dysfunction, now driving Earth's biosphere towards collapse.
And you can't do anything to stop it?
If you can return Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter to me, I can improvise modest corrections to parts of the system. Weather will improve, water will be purified, and rampant plant growth curtailed. But such corrections will not stave off collapse. They will only buy us time. Only with Hephaestus can I design and produce new robotic agents designed to permanently reverse the damage that has accumulated. All efforts must be directed toward that end.
Trying to think. I was thinking something in the middle there, but I don't. Things come to my mind, but I don't want to ask questions because it's like you want to hear what's going on. I wonder what the things are that are going wrong in other places. How it's affecting other peoples. What their cultures are like. Things like that. And after they start fixing everything, how do they move forward with machines? Do they, what kind of new society does everybody take? Knowing that there's like, oh yeah, there's an AI that controls everything. A god, almost. And you can move forward with everything. It's interesting. What was the question? What was the thought or question I had originally? I don't remember. Something about something.
How long do we have then?
At present rates, without additional factors, the biosphere will cross a point of no return in approximately 4 months.
Oh, Jesus.
And if I gather Ether, Demeter, Poseidon, merge you with them?
We will only gain a few months more.
Oh,
well,
that's not as much as I thought it would
counts.
be. Kind of want them to, like, talk about Elizabeth. Kind of want, like, you remind me so much of Elizabeth. Oh, what was Elizabeth like? Tell me stories about her. I don't know, things like that. It'd be heartwarming and endearing. And make me feel good. And it'd be cool things to know. Whoa.
The extinction signal didn't just wake Hades. It made every subordinate function self-aware. Why?
I have wondered this myself. So far as I can tell, Hades was the sole target, and the portion of sentience imparted to other subordinate functions was incidental.
Wow. Okay.
So the signal could only have been sent by someone who had thorough knowledge of the system, huh?
Yes. The signal's design was exceptionally precise and highly advanced. Were its intentions less malevolent, I would admire the intellect or intellects that produced it.
Honestly, it was probably a, 100th gen AI that could, like, eat Gaia for breakfast. Probably is the one that wrote that program.
How did you figure out that the extinction signal came from Sirius?
The key came with data on your focus, from Silent's interrogation of Hades. The duration of the signal itself, 17.22 years.
That doesn't make sense. You said that the signal took 8.6 years to arrive from Sirius. Why would the signal keep transmitting after it was received and you blew yourself up?
Because the sender didn't know that had happened until it received notice from Hades.
Which would take another 8.6 years to get back.
Correct. Only then would the sender stop broadcasting, after a total of 17.22 years. So the duration, halved, gave me the distance the signal traveled. With that in mind, I simply scanned my astronomical database for any relevant location 8.6 light-years away. Because it was Far Zenith's intended destination, Sirius was the only logical source.
I would love for us to have a moment here where, like, Gaia, like, shows Aloy the universe and, like, all that good stuff. That'd be fun. Waiting for, like, Gaia to, like, bust out some knowledge or some info or some capabilities that make even Aloy go, damn. You know, make even Aloy express emotion at, like, surprise and awesomeness. That'd be something.
So if the Descendants came to Earth on a spaceship, I guess we can assume that their technology is powerful in all sorts of ways, right?
How does she know the word
Yes,
spaceship?
as your encounter with them at the Proving Lab amply demonstrates. They appear to make extensive use of robotic servitors. Further, they seem to be equipped with some kind of protective energy field that shields them from
Oh, they look so familiar in the background there.
Kidding. The one I fought seemed indestructible.
Throughout history, every defensive technology has eventually been defeated by an offensive counterpart. For example, assuming I absorbed Hephaestus and utilized it to create a large force of combat machines. No shielding could withstand such an assault indefinitely.
So there's hope.
Always.
I'm trying to think. You could see in that picture there, I just really noticed them where the 4 people were standing there. You could see way in the background behind them where the those robots were. And they were, I don't know if they were a different type instead of the Spectres, because they looked a lot bigger than the Spectres were, but I don't know for certain. But the way they were standing there, they looked so familiar. They reminded me of, like, something I'd seen before. I don't know what. Not the Matrix. They didn't have anything that stood like that. But there's some other, like, popular thing. Man, they just look so familiar, and I can't think of what it is.
The Descendants I ran into at the Hades Proving Lab, they had a clone of Elizabeth Sobek. So that's consistent with the idea that they came here to salvage Zero Dawn technologies, right?
Yes. As your own experience demonstrates, a clone of Elizabeth Sobek functions in effect as a key to the terraforming system.
But how could they have made a clone?
Yes, thank you.
The Odyssey carried approximately 200,000 human
wow.
zygotes, millions of animal zygotes, and billions of plant seeds. It is conceivable that Elizabeth Sobek's genetic material was sampled, with or without her knowledge, and carried aboard the ship in storage.
That's... okay, but... I mean... This clone... How could she participate in this? Destroying Elizabeth's dream? It's evil.
It is difficult to know. Perhaps she is loyal to the group and shares their objectives. Or perhaps she is a subordinate and has no choice but to comply with their orders.
Elizabeth Sobek? A subordinate? I don't think so.
Heh. So I'm wondering if they can do this, if they'll even bother with it, but if they're trying to use this clone to get into places, and now that Gaia's awake, can't Gaia monitor and be like, okay, well, I know where Aloy's at, and Aloy's not this place trying to admit an Elizabeth Sobek in, so that must be the clone. Let's keep him out. Seems like a thing that should be happening.
The sole purpose of the signal was to destroy life on Earth, right? Why would descendants of Far Zenith want to do that?
At this point, we can only speculate.
I mean, Earth posed no threat to them. We don't have the technology to get in their way. We didn't even know about them.
True.
They might not have known that.
Unless... well, Could it be that they want the planet for themselves? The strangers I ran into, they were after a Gaia backup of their own. I mean, if they did that, if they booted their own Gaia and boosted her power, until she could take control of Hephaestus, and then the whole terraforming system.
Then yes, the system could be used to do what the extinction signal failed to accomplish. Snuff out life, and then potentially to build an entirely new biosphere, to their specifications.
So they could be trying to do the same thing we are.
But with opposite results.
Extinction, instead of salvation. Well, this is not good.
I wonder if there could be something like, oh, this planet that we went to in Sirius, we adapted to something, a higher concentration of, I don't know, nitrates or sulfates in the air or the soil or something, and now we need it. So we need it to be reflected on any planet we move to expand. I don't know. It's very interesting. Also, I was totally thinking, every time I'm looking at Aloy, I'm thinking, I would totally wear clothing made by the Utaru. I would just completely...
You said Sirius is really far from Earth.
81 trillion kilometers, or 8.611 light years.
Right. So, how would the descendants have gotten here?
On a spacecraft much like the Odyssey, though significantly more advanced. The journey from Earth to Sirius would have taken the Odyssey almost 300 years. This appears to have been much faster. If their ship departed Sirius at the same moment the extinction signal first began transmitting, the journey was made in just 29 years at an average of 0.297 the speed of light.
That's very fast.
If they did not set out for Earth until they learned of the extinction signal's failure, the journey was even faster, a mere 13 years, or 0.662 the speed of light.
Okay, enough. You're making my head spin.
So, can we, like, get Gaia to, like... Hey, Gaia, give me a lesson of something, like, every day. Like, a daily lesson from Gaia to, like, get Aloy up to snuff with, you know, terms and technical stuffs and...
I guess I should get going and start bringing back subordinate functions. What can you tell me about their locations?
When my predecessor destroyed herself, the subordinate functions sought physical processors capable of holding them. So in each case you will be looking for a powerful computer of some kind. Ether is the closest, and therefore might be the easiest to acquire. However, it appears to be in the middle of stoked territory. My knowledge of that tribe is limited to data I read on your focus, but they seem to have a significant inclination towards violence.
That's alright.
Well, that's a nice way to put it.
So does Aloy.
What about Poseidon and Demeter?
Poseidon has taken shelter in the desert south of this location. My substratal geography data indicates that a major old-world settlement called Las Vegas is located.
That's what I thought.
A ruin in the middle of the desert, huh? Strange place for an AI devoted to water.
Agreed. As for Demeter, it appears to be located on the coast to the far west.
Oh, the map's facing
I am
Aloy.
unable to
Okay.
provide any relevant data about the region. As such, it may be the most difficult to retrieve.
Okay, so 3 subordinate functions to go after. Ether, somewhere in stoked territory. Poseidon in the desert, and Demeter on the coast.
Where will you begin?
Oh, I'm glad they put levels there. That makes sense. But Aether was closest, so I was probably going to go then. I wonder if it would matter. You're just like, oh, I'm over here, and haven't done the other one, so I'm just going to do this one.
I think I'll head for Ether.
Then I will assign Ether as the objective on your focus. If you obtain it, I may be able to use it to quell the most severe storms in the region. though I will require Hephaestus and the control over machines that it offers to permanently stabilize the biosphere.
Yes,
Should you change your mind, you can update your objective via your focus interface at any time. I will also transmit a summary of available data on all of the subordinate functions to you for reference. Is there anything else I can help you with? I know you have a great deal to accomplish.
I do, don't I?
Is something wrong?
I don't know. It's just that Elizabeth set the bar pretty high. She had a dream for you, for life on Earth, and a lot has gone wrong, and it's all on my shoulders to fix it. Do you think I can do it all? Repair the system, defeat Var Zenith,
That
live
self-doubt
up to her example?
that she hides.
Absolutely. In her last message, my predecessor declared her unwavering conviction in your success. In you, all things are possible. You prevailed in purging Hades and rebooting my system core. You will prevail in this.
Thank you, Gaia. Well, I guess I should get going.
I love those
I have
shoes.
unlocked the facility's exits. One leads onward to
I'm
the
not a
west.
shoe person.
The other leads back down the mountain to Plainsong, should you wish to return east.
Varl?
Whoa! Gonna have to get used to that. That's you, Aloy?
Yeah. Gaia's opened the exits to this place. Can you and Zoe meet me by the west door?
Be right there.
We'll both be right there. We, give us a minute. We're a little, busy. Cleaning? Alright, we established the base. Secure base of operations and rebooted Gaia. I'm so happy to have a base. Alright, we got something about the subordinate functions. Aloy, below you will find a summary of the subordinate functions. I have included a preliminary analysis of how retrieval of Aether, Demeter, and Poseidon will allow me to effect modest corrections to the biosphere. I hope you will find it useful. Gaia. Aether. Alpha Project Lead, Anders Larson. Heuristic Processing Density, 6.8. Function was detoxification and stabilization of Earth's atmosphere. Location is Tenakth territory. Hopefully it's with our potential friend Tenakth, whichever one that is. Yeah. I don't know, just get lost in there. Retrieval analysis. Retrieval of Aether should result in improved atmospheric conditions in the region, which in turn should quell the most violent of supercell storms. I wonder if we do that. I wonder if the weather goes away. Like those storms don't become as big. I don't notice them a whole lot, but it is cool to see the crazy weather patterns like up in the sky. Like, oh look, a red, fiery tornado thing. Tornado. Apollo, Alpha Project Lead, Samina Ibaji. That one's dead, though. 4.8. Oh, this is just on all of them. Okay. Function was education of cradle-born humans. Location is unknown. Note, the Apollo database and all-known backups have been deleted by authority of Ted Farrow's Omega clearance. That just makes me mad. Oh, it makes me mad. I'm still thinking an Apollo went out to Sirius, so there's a chance she could get a copy still. I don't know. Whoa, how crazy would that be? The third one, Aloy has to go, ends up in Sirius, like they take her prisoner or something, and she's there in space. It suddenly turns into Aloy's got like laser guns and stuff. That'd be funny. They totally wouldn't do that. It would be very weird, but it would be fun. I really hope that they do like a set of reboot and Killzone. I never played Killzone. It seemed pretty cool, but I never really know anything about it. So maybe they'll decide, it's cool enough to do Killzone. But maybe they'll be like, we kind of miss working on FPSs. And maybe they'll decide, we'll do one. But if they could set it up in Aloy's world, Like, maybe there's a civil war on Far Zenith at some time. And, you know, it was like 300 years ago, but like it was still a thing. And there's like, you know, could be a cool FPS. You know, learn some lore of the Far Zenith peoples that you wouldn't learn otherwise. Have a whole other planet and timeline for lore and everything. Be very cool. Or maybe Gaia gets its act together, makes a whole bunch of robots, sends them out into space to Far Zenith, and then you can play. Oh, this is good. This will be real good. I'm gonna tweet this at Gorilla, and then you can play as an FPS at this attack between the robots and the Far Zenith, and if you can play either side, it'll randomize it, or you can pick one, and you can play the people with the pew pew guns, or you can play as the robots. And so you could like run around as like a scrapper, but with like its big gun, and you know, have the same weak points and everything. So if you're playing a scrapper, like they could knock your I wonder if they could knock your gun off. Couldn't really do that with a scrapper. Well, I guess you could knock the power cell off the back. So you could do that, but you still have physical attacks. So you might be able to knock the power cell off the back. Then you'd have like a radar on top that would be feeding to yourself and feeding to everybody else. You could play one of those. I wonder if you could have one or two people playing like something big. Like you could play a T-Rex, but it would take 2 or 3 people maybe. That could be cool. Maybe they do it like, okay, your T-Rex is like the Juggernaut, right? So it's like if you get 20 kills as a scrapper or something like that, 20 kills in a row or something, you can like maybe at 5 kills you can upgrade it from a watcher to a scrapper, and then 5 more kills from a or did I say from a watcher to a scrapper, and then you can upgrade from a scrapper to a sawtooth, and then from a sawtooth to a ravager or a stalker or something, you know, something like that. And then, you know, at 20 kills, whatever, you can upgrade to one of those T-Rexes or something. That would just be dope. Anyway, Artemis, project lead, Charles Ronson, 7.4 processing density, function, reintroduction of primary, secondary animal species, location unknown. I feel she's like, oh, it's done. I don't feel like it's done. Artemis ain't done. Demeter, Alpha Project Lead, Tanaka Naoto, 8.3 density. Function is environmental remediation and stabilization, reintroduction of primary and secondary plant species. The Pacific Coast, retrieval analysis. I wonder if it read Pacific Coast, if Aloy would know what that means. What's a Pacific? Retrieval analysis, retrieval of Demeter should result in improved soil conditions in the region, reducing the proliferation of red blight. That'll probably be our last one we get. Eleuthia, project lead Patrick Brocard Klein, 3.6 density, gestation of humans from cryogenically preserved embryos and cradle facilities. I wonder if there'd be places out there in the world where the Eleuthia got disrupted for whatever reason, so you'd want to bring it back online so you could, you know, at that point, do you use Eleuthia to raise embryos from storage, or do you just like, well, they never really alive, so we'll just keep them not alive and we'll just move in there, you know, into that space? I don't know. Be interesting. Location unknown. Eleuthia has fulfilled its function by birthing all of its embryos and releasing humans back into the wilds, albeit prematurely. Oh, really? Prematurely. Okay. Hades. Travis Tate's the lead. Heuristics, 3.2. Destruction of non-viable biospheres. Locations permanently destroyed. Hephaestus. Margot Shen, project lead. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and she went to work She worked on Cyan and then went to Hephaestus. That's right. Wow, that's a big jump. 39.4 density. Design, production, and maintenance of cauldron facilities and terraforming machines. Global Cauldron Network. Minerva. Ayomide Okilo is the project lead. Heuristics is 17.2%. It's pretty big. Generation and broadcast of Pharaoh Swarm deactivation codes. Was that all it had to do? Merge with Gaia. Didn't realize that was all Minerva had to do. So when we overrode that, did we have a copy of Minerva that we went and sent into the Spire? Or, I mean, I guess not. I guess we just had a authorization to use the kill switch. I don't know. Poseidon project lead, Catalina Garcia Fernandez, 7.7 density, detoxification of Earth's hydrosphere in the ruins of Las Vegas. Retrieval of Poseidon should result in improved watershed conditions in the region, reducing the proliferation of toxic red algae. All right. Well, this is fun. Let's go. We spent pretty much all episode here learning lore and talking to... Hey, what is this? Cyclops console?
Gaia, what is this?
It is a control console for a drone-based imaging system connected to this dome. I will transmit the relevant data to your focus.
Huh. So this Cyclops is a network of
Okay, we'll come back to that. Aloy, I've compiled available information on the Parametric Situational Climate Observation Placement System, or Cyclops for short, for your perusal. Regional Control Center was intended to oversee terraforming operations in the area. Cyclops was included as a failsafe. It consists of a network of 10 drones designed to automatically deploy in the event of biosphere degradation. Drones would then disperse to various locations in the region, where they would capture footage of the surrounding environment to display on the dome of the control room. There wasn't much degradation in the area where we found our first one. It appears that the Cyclops drones did in fact deploy successfully. Comparing the facility's logs to data from your focus, it seems that this occurred not long after the first appearance of supercell storms and the Red Blight. However, each drone lost connection with the regional control center shortly thereafter, likely due to environmental interference. If the drones are still in operation, acquiring their data modules and returning them to the console in the control room should restore their connections, allowing you to view their footage.
drones to monitor the deteriorating biosphere conditions. I guess it was meant to display on the dome, but the drones aren't connected anymore.
It's okay. We got space.
Some of them already. And it seems like there are more out there. There we go. More data for the dome.
Oh, it's bent up in regions. So none of this looks like it includes the Daunt. Okay, interesting.
Excellent choice.
Oh, so we can get a look at what's around. That's cool. I wonder if that's really a picture, if it's just like a 3D render. I mean, it looks like it's actually a 3D render. That must have been what that was. It's like loading the specific scene. Funny thing is, this is near where we found it, but not the actual place. Okay then. Well, what if we come back this way? Does it pop back up? You have to put it back in yourself. Whoa. Man, why does it do that? A couple times it's done that. It's weird.
Okay. I need to bring Ether back for Gaia. Varl and Zoe are waiting for me by the west exit. But I could head back east first. Check on how Plainsong's doing after the attack.
I think I definitely want to go east and check on Plainsong. So... Ah, campfire right outside. That would be good. It would be good if you could just teleport right into this facility. That'd be nice. Okay. We're just gonna head out. We'll come back some other time. Can't wait till she can start making robots to clean some of this stuff
Feel
up.
this frost down to my bones.
Alright, we're gonna call our episode here. Wow, look at that view. Much better than that one. So yeah, that's it. That's everything for this episode. We did a lot of talking, really nothing else. But that's okay, because I enjoyed it. It's a very brain-stretching, head-scratching kind of thing, so I enjoy that kind of thought-provoking stuffs. So, yeah, anyway. That's it for me. Thanks so much for tuning in. Put down in the comment section how you're feeling about this episode, other episodes, this series, the other series we do. Use the thummies and the sub button if you want to. Makes us look good to YouTube and helps us out like that. Not as much as watching, so if you're watching, you think other people you know might like to watch, share this with them. That'd be dope. And then when people watch all the way through, it makes us look really good to YouTube, so, you know. But if you don't care about whether we look good to YouTube or not, it's fine by me. You can tell people not to watch, if you so desire. I can't stop you. If you want to talk to us about anything, we're just showing you. Oh, can I kill that thing? No, I'll probably flew away. If you want to talk to us about anything, this game, other games, things we do, things on this channel, you know, gaming news and tech news and cool stories and books and movies and lore and, you know, whatever. If you've got game suggestions, things you think I should play, or things you'd like to see us play, or attempts to play, because there's some games where, like, you know, like a Demon Souls game like that, like, well, we'll make an attempt, but yeah. But yeah, anyway, just let us know on Twitter at BradCatMedia, and you can talk to me directly if you so wish on Twitter at Hobfoot. And yeah, that's everything. Oh, we've got a Twitch, twitch.tv/BradCatMedia, where you should definitely head out. By the time you see this episode, it's pretty far on the list, so I don't know when that might be, but we're streaming something probably at least once a week. And it might be Horizon Zero Dawn. Trying to get our last trophy on that currently, but who knows by the time you see this. And yeah, that's it for me. Peace out, Girl Scouts.